Okay, so I'm sitting here with Ryan Brown, and he doesn't know that I'm watching him, but he's got this amazing robot for free. I just downloaded it, and I've never seen a robot able to perform on a 1 minute chart. Granted, I have to use the crude data now. I've just tested this thing on a 1 minute chart going back to. Actually, I have it on the martingale settings. It's all about the settings. I think that's a big deal. I've saved the settings to this, kind of just hunting around. I just started this last night, but got that thing to trade, and I can adjust the settings, and it's set at 1K all the way to like whatever. It martingales into maybe 8K, and fucking egg, it can trade the 1 minute charts, so that's pretty amazing right there. It's not a breakout system. It is trading contrarian, which I trade. And I believe in martingale, and I believe in going against the herd, and I believe totally that swing trading involves going underwater and having just the right amount of money in the account, and having this scaled in situation, and having multiple instances of this robot running on maybe one currency pair or a couple. Now, I think you would have to adjust the settings for each currency, and you need a basket of at least. So he's a basket trader, which that's what I am. I accumulate a position and I dump it when it reverses, and not everybody's prepared for a 300 pip move in one direction, and that thing's what freaks people out. Also, I don't think he is looking at the market from a standpoint of structure. I think he's an indicator. He's built this around the indicator, this RMI, which I think is relative momentum index. So I guess I have version 8 loaded here for free. I can't see the code, but the settings, I'm actually not sure what's affecting it, because I did change some settings and it didn't really seem to change it. The defaults, I think, are sitting on the. Well, I don't want to load the defaults, but here's where I'm at with the settings. I tightened everything up just intuitively. I just bring everything here tight. He had this at 14, and when I saw that, I almost got out my last bullet from my Corona shelter and blew my brains out. But, and I don't know about this serial number. Cubby, that must be his wife's nickname. But I don't know. And this guy has been, people have gotten upset about him and didn't like his style of trading, and I guess I'm on his team. I'm also on the team of, in this one video here, this latest video, he's talking about this samurai trading technique where you take 10 grand, you make 5 grand, and you're like, okay. And granted, the guy that's in there is not probably driving the McLaren car, because who would buy, like, do you really think Warren Buffett's got like a car collection like Jay Leno? That's hard. It's hard to make money trading. I mean, it's work. So really blowing your money on shit like that. So yeah, you can flip an account, you can do all that, but in the end, it comes down to lifestyle. Probably Ryan's not familiar with, there are gangster traders that make a lot of money, and they don't care if they ever blow that account up. They're gonna stop trading. Now this robot that he wrote, I noticed in capital letters, if you go to the site, it says trades every day, and every is in caps. So I agree with him. I mean, these markets need to be, you need to extract the movement out of these markets. Also, I just there's so many settings in here, and I'm not sure which ones I'm changing is making a difference, and I'm not sure if I have to check these boxes. The boxes have checked themselves. I don't even understand this level of trading. Never in my life have I ever even thought I could understand what value, start, step, stop, and the whole thing in here. So I saved it. So hopefully when it reloads, it's going to make the magnificent money it's making right now. It is on crude data, but and I don't even know if I have this time. I might want to turn this robot off when I know the spread sucks. So at the bottom here, there's a setting for robots. There's also money management, and I had the martingale turned on here. I don't know why it's off now. No, I have it on true. I'm sorry, it's not checked, but I have it on true. So I am looking to martingale this puppy, and that's what's making all the money on the on the results. Because see, it's getting heavy. And it's going against, I'm assuming this is kind of contrarian trading. I've watched it trade. And so it's taking a hit and then it cashes out a basket. You can see it trade. If you're familiar with this style of trading where you go against the herd, it's called herd immunity trading. But like on the 1 minute, it's getting a lot of trades. I'm only going back to March 26th. Remember those days? Well, we're really tough times ahead with this seasonal flu, everybody. Now when everybody's staying in their homes, we're going to test out our drones. Audio drones. Where's the hip-hop drones with the subwoofers? Come on, man, bring it. Like, I want to hear that chopper from, like, The Wall. Get in. The big chopper. Oh, God, people, really. So the traders are loving this fact that finally we don't feel guilty about trading and hacking through the computer thing. Now the big fear is that, the electromagnetic thing's going down and 5G and there's not enough to be scared of, I think. Are people just getting numb? Is this the conditioning? So this is it. It's a mental virus. It turns out. And I heard this guy, and I don't know who Bruce Lipton is, but this is one of these kind of guys like, water's got a brain, kind of, a little quantum physics. I don't know if you go down that hole. But he's like, yeah, people are freaking out, which makes them sicker. They're like, holy shit. Yeah, this is his RMI down here. I got set to 5. I think trading its ass off. But I think it is doing an overbought, oversold. It's been going against. It's literally not taking any trend trades. He's not a trend trader. He can't even see it. If you watch his analysis, he can't see that the doji is the place to put on the hedge and go with it, right? That will make money too. I'm sure that if he built a robot that was a breakout bot, it would make money. So this demo account here, I traded it all week. I'm up I'm up 244 bucks manually trading. And if this robot can hack out this kind of money, yeah, you just get a team of these fucking robots and let it go, right? And it looks like it's doing better than a human. That's for sure. I mean, most people, look at these fucking people. They should just have auto cars with auto people in it. You know what? Just make an avatar of yourself. This is the ultimate protection. You got a version of you send out there. A robot you made of yourself. And, you send it out, and maybe you're rich. You got 10 of yourselves out there. And you're sitting at home managing them from your vault, Adronimus Strain, 8 floors down. And you're just ready for anything. I don't know. I mean, every time I'm in front of the computer, I just think, wow, this just feels natural. But I know people that are really have to go out and with their hair a different color, and so it's got to be blue because they're such a rebel, even though everybody's doing blue already. So I guess you're just conforming now. Oops. That's like, do you go with the trend or you go against it? So let me test this thing. I'm gonna play with the settings a little bit here. Risk that I just built the Holy Grail, but I love this fucking robot because it's martingaling. Oh, you can't martingale. This thing's doing it. Look at this beast on the 1 minute chart. Come on. So, this is, I don't know what the pro version cost, and I don't know what it'll do, but I'll put a link to his site. I mean, the guy did it. He's not a big boy, so to speak. He's not ICT that's going to con you into, he's telling it like it is. Trading's work. It's difficult. You can't just go fucking think you're going to flip an account every day. Although the other side of that coin is a guy that flips accounts like Samurai. You think the Chinamen give a fuck? They got 3 billion people. They're like, okay, some people got hurt. The flu got out of control. Okay, we're fucking bats. What the fuck? What the fuck, man? Anybody that's ever watched markets, look at the corn market. Look at soy. Does anybody look? No. If they did, they shit their fucking pants. If you let the public, now that I know why Dodd-Frank was invented, we can't let people see crude oil prices. Fuck. They see it at the pump and they're like, Yeah, but if you saw the chart, you'd be like, dude, you're just retesting lows from, it was at $17 a barrel. It was at $17 a barrel. It was not that, there's a crack spread. Gasoline wasn't that cheap. Then there's inflation. Then this whole giant picture. Is the dollar going up? Is it going down? Is this going here? Is that going there? Dude, if you can catch one of these trains, of course, this robot shit, that's where it's at. I'm not going to fucking worry about this. I'll let this robot churn away. I kind of know what's going to happen as far as like, we've been going sideways a long time, and some guy commented about he feels like he's treading water. Well, yeah, you know what? I mean, this robot's treading water till it fucking rips. So if you just, most people do not have, that's why it's kind of perfect, it's a perfect situation for a robot or random trading, which is, in essence, this is random trading because all this thing's do is managing, it says a trailing stop loss and all this bullshit in there, which in a Gartley pattern, you're looking for an entrance and an exit. Is your exit really that good that you would stop and reverse there and go the other way? I mean, that's obvious. The next question. If you presented this as somebody that's going to go through the checklist, well, if that's true, then why don't we do this? If that's true, why don't we do this? You know, like, why don't we just fucking open the economy? Why don't they just let people drive to places without freaking out? Like, is that going to be open when I get there? Like, I got to Google the hours of places now? Like, what happened? Well, seasonal flu, dude. Okay, that's the new, I mean, this is the biggest, people say Trump was right in the first place. It is a fucking hoax. So you've been hoaxed into freaking out. I can't believe people 81 years, there's more people 81 years old than there's ever been on the fucking planet. Does anybody even realize that? Has anybody looked at population growth? Yeah, you're going to lose a lot of people. It's like the Dow Jones sold off 5,000 points. Is more than, dude, it's so expensive. Percentage-wise, it doesn't mean shit. Well, we don't look at percentages here, son. We live range of the moment. We're fucking like, look, oh my God, he just lit a cigarette. Look out, everybody run. Get the fire extinguisher. The fuck, man? I just can't believe it. The robot does not have this problem of skewing the data. So this thing, I don't know what this guy built the fucking holy grail here, but for me, it's the first robot that I've ever downloaded that fucking worked out of the gate. I see people post robots all day long. I run them. I'm like, will this run on the one? No, it won't run on the 1 minute chart. Maybe it's because I'm using the crude data. And I used every tick before. And that also is maybe another thing that's screwing up my results because I don't really download. I could go into this free thing where they have free robots in here. And maybe I should do that right now on the 1 minute chart and compare his robot to what's out there in the free buttons that are inside of MetaTrader. I don't know if anybody knows this little trick here. I know they added this shit on here, and I've never really been a big fan of it, but because I've never got any of these robots to run. But if you go inside of the, where is it? Here. It's called Market. Why don't I see it here? Right at this space here. Here, let me hunt this shit down. I know it's in here somewhere. Okay, here we are. This under the terminal window. If you open up the terminal, they added this shit on, which takes you to a website. It's kind of weird. I mean, they really opened up this platform. It used to be MT4 was. Well, it used to be like Windows NT. It was its own little world, private little world, not connected to any viruses. Remember the digital viruses we used to have? Oh, I got a Trojan horse. Oh, do you now? I'm wearing a Trojan. Will that stop the virus? Oh, not that Trojan. Oh. The world's really like a flash paper, just gone up real quick. So this thing called Marketplace is integrated into the platform now. Market. And there's a little button called Free, and I want to compare his robot to... So I'm running the Rmi Ea version 8. I think of V8 though. I think of I should have had a V8. Yeah, that's it. I don't know if Ryan's probably like 35 years old. I don't know if he's into those old things we used to say. Look at the markets loading. I'm actually connecting to the internet. So this is kind of where people sell their robots and all that stuff. And you know what? I mean, robot trading does make money. I mean, and if the robots, if you're gonna, I don't know why people are wasting their time over it. No nonsense. If you're really an indicator thing, just build a robot. I've said it a million fucking times. Just build a robot. If that indicator rules, build a robot for it. If MACD works on the standard settings of 12, 26, 9, then build it. If you build it, it should work. So there's a bunch of harebrained shit in here, like free indicators. I'm not a big fan of indicators because I'm just not going to fucking hear a bell and go off and like, oh, then have to look at the fucking chart and go, I don't know if I like that's a signal there. It says I should buy, but I don't know. No, the robot's just got to do it without any fucking thought. It's just got to pull the trigger on that shit. And yeah, you throw $1,000 in the account, let it rip. I mean, let it rip. Like fucking let people just go out and fucking hump each other. I say let's have a fuck fest for 72 hours straight, even if you don't know the people. And then everybody's fucking cured. The next day, everybody's hacking up a fucking hair. Dude, you're 91, you're fucking. Well, maybe not. God, what? I just can't even believe people fell for that shit. But I gotcha. Oh, I know somebody that's like 21 years old. They died of vaping. Gotcha. Are you waking up to this? Just because you're 13 years old, is there any homeless guy? And then they have this mass grave. Dude, there's probably always a mass grave going on in fucking... How many homeless people are there dying? Are they getting a proper funeral? Over in... Is anybody tracking this shit? No. People got a fucking view of like a pinhole camera to the world. Like, yeah, you can see down the street. I said it before. The famous story, the Chicago Board of Trade, the grain pit. They look at there's rain hitting the windows. People are shorting it. Look, the drought's over. Dude, you're in Chicago. Oh, I know, but I'm still waiting for this shit to load with this hourglass. That never got old. The hourglass and Windows. And the fucking do-gooder Bill Gates. Oh, the do-gooder. Do-gooder with a wallet. Look out, everybody. Take cover. Instead of molesting girls, he's going to molest your bank account with his fucking utopian dick state. He turned into a fucking... he's the nanny state. He's... God, what's his name? Bruce Jenner without the fucking makeup. You notice how just ridiculously, oh, well, I'm doing good. How about you? Yeah, thanks, brother. The whitest guy on the planet, Bill Gates. Hands down. He's so white, you could fucking get a sunburn from. And that's the other thing. Was he wearing like high sunblock? I don't know why I got hourglass going here, but I want an expert advisor. I think it's because my strategy tester is running in the background. Okay, sorry, I had to reboot the computer there. Reboot that platform. Opening up that marketplace really created a ripple butterfly effect to the whole system. So look at this. I like this checklist he has. How to trade high risk trades, but my favorite one here is don't push the strategy EA past the recommended settings. Sean, go easy on the EA. It looks tired. Get that EA a beer. Did you see how hard it's working? That's the whole point, man, is to have fun with these things. So I was in the midst of my gonna go get myself a better robot, a free one. That's the price I like. So because I would just trade it manually, I think everybody knows how to trade by this point. It's like really risky to put all your eggs in one trade. Okay, articles. I don't want articles. Look at all this shit in here. It's so overloaded. This is what crashed it last time. It's very top heavy. I gotta pause it again. Wait for this to come back to life. Okay, hopefully I can get to it here. It's in the market. It's under market. Okay, we're waiting again because it's just forever to load. I'm going on the internet through my platform. Is that a good idea? Okay, well, while that's loading, let's look at Corona. What have these people done 18 dead. There's got to be more than that. So we're coming up around noon. Markets are opening soon. I think people have realized that this is just a classic flu, seasonal flu. And they've actually maybe made it worse, although it shouldn't make it too much of a difference. But this idea that you're going to put people in a slow the spread, you're just dragging out the spread, I think, right? 72 dead people. We're waiting for this big number. It seems to come in around. These charts don't update really like they should. Spain's kind of climaxing out here. We took Spain out. Of course, we have more people than Spain, I think, in our country. We got more cases, and that's a lot of revenue for everybody. A lot of pills to sell. You know, this is. I'm hoping to die one day myself. Too bad I never made it to the Corona list. Kind of disappointed in myself, actually. It's a trade that I didn't participate in. Fear of missing out. Yeah, sure wish I could have rode that one. Look at me. Dude, took the account down till it was flashing red, made it all back and then some. You sound like a high-risk trader. God, really? That's relative speak, isn't it? We're always going to lose a few people, I think. What's that total deaths here? Let me reshuffle the deck by total deaths. There's countries I never heard of. Some island somewhere. All right, so how's that looking? Wow. There's, I think, 7 billion people in the world. Something like that. 6 billion? I don't know. It's like 7 billion or something. So, you know, Belgium. Get some waffles. They make waffles there. And then this Fauci guy's talking about, well, the Chinese numbers. We knew right there we didn't need a model. Look, all the dead people. And, really? So, all of a sudden, the numbers, he's using those numbers to build a model, and they claim that the Chinese are lying? Huh? It's like a bad tick. I built a robot on bad ticks. Did you know? We're still waiting for this market to load. I don't think it's going to load. Anyways. We're going to have to give up on that. Okay. Here's a $1,000 robot. Wow. Twilight Trader. We're still waiting for shit to load here, but here's a free one. I guess this is everything. Robots and indicators. So there's quite a bit to pick from here. And I suppose these things must work. I mean, how can you sell this for $500? Isn't it making some kind of money? Night vision. So I think like anything else is going to be settings dependent. I'm not going to be able to test another robot. It's too much overhead. It's trying to load like a million pieces of shit, and I just don't got time for that. So I'm going to continue with his this robot, how he built it based on this. I'm assuming going against, or he has a long-term trend. It looks like, and he's going to sell into it. But the whole point of this is the martingale effect, the martingale factor. I'm going to run this on the British pound and see how it does. Okay, this is going back like 4 years on the 5-minute chart. I think in the default settings of the robot. So I'm going to speed this up. I should be able to see this thing trade. When it takes profits, it's going to martingale in. Gets into quite a bit of K there, I think. It's going against. So it actually sold down at that bottom. The fact that it's wrong and it keeps adding to the loser, that's the beauty of it. So we're selling here for some reason. 5-minute chart. But since it sells heavier on the top, it's about a 4K going there. I don't know if it's still holding that K. So here I'm just going to go to the end. I don't really care what it's doing, but so here's the about 4 years of data and a 5-minute chart. It's doing pretty good, right? Trades every day. And that's the beauty of it, I think. I wish it would do a little faster thing here. I have the crudest method, though, but if I do every tick, I need at least this much data. And I don't know if it run on the 5-minute chart like that on every tick. So I don't know what that's about. We're just going to run this thing next week. Here, every tick, 5-minute chart. Roughly the same results here, it looks like. Get to 160. Oh, see, it doesn't even trade. It won't trade on the 5-minute chart if I use every tick. So I don't know what the fuck that's about. So I don't. My robots won't run on that either. And I don't see why people say, well, every tick. You know, it's money management. This thing's trading its ass off here on the 15-minute. If I just go back, so today, let's go back to Friday and just see how it would have done recently. Today, go back to just here, March 19th, the good old days. Before people lost their minds. 1-minute chart. Like I said, that I don't want to trade a 1-minute chart. This thing can do it. I don't know that fall out of bed there. I don't know what that's about. Maybe that's a weekend gap against us, but it doesn't gets on it. It just gets on that trade, and it's in pretty heavy there. We'll try to play back as fast as we can here. So here's the martingale from the March 19th on the 1-minute chart. I don't know what it's doing. Now, these settings are the out-of-the-box settings, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to load my Holy Grail settings after this. See what we get. But later on, when I shut down all this recording devices, I'm going to test, try to get a 1-minute chart going with some other robots that are free. So I'm just going to fast forward. 1-minute chart going back like 3 weeks. It's not doing bad. I think that's the factory settings. Unless I remembered the last settings that I used. I don't know how MetaTrader does that as far as settings. And here's where it really pays off. It really loads up. It goes against the crowd on that. Makes good money on that too. There you go. And if you do it on the 4-hour chart, it's almost guaranteed at the end of this run, it's going to blow up the account. It's just going to crash really hard. So really, euro dollar only here. I haven't tried the British pound or anything like that yet. So it's a real long process, but I do want to launch this tonight and see how it starts trading. And I just changed the magic numbers so I can run multiple versions, I guess. It's free, so I'll probably just cash out of the, when the market opens here in a few hours, I'll just cash out everything I'm in, write down the balance, so I don't have to open a new demo. Instead of opening a new demo, I can write down the balance, or I can open a fresh demo and get a scientific view of like, okay, that robot's the only thing trading that account right now. There's no human trading going on. There's no, oh gosh, you know, I guess that's why God invented thermometers, right? Well, that's your temperature's 100 degrees, and you've been mutating. You've been having sex with people. Yeah, we're doing this rub fest. It's called. It's to stamp out the virus. It's called the spike and run. It's called, let's just short it up the top here. Although I'm getting a lot of exercise because of the anger level is so fucking high, I bought a punching bag. I hurry up just before it kicked in. Just before the lockdown, I did load up. I had the sixth sense, almost like one of those pigeons at the parking lot that just kind of know that this is the place to chill. Why are these pigeons? Do parking lots spell pigeon welcome with all the yellow lines? What's going on there? You never see these white birds anywhere else. Did they hire them? Welcome to Walmart. Yeah, we put some pigeons on. It must be the camper people that bring them. Because they had that thing with the campers, people are allowed to chill. I haven't seen that lately. They outlawed that maybe. Remember when Walmart's was going to be, oh God, it was something with a number. And all the Walmart's, they're closing them down because they're going to convert them to like internment camps. It looks like they did. I know. You go up there, it's like they got the fucking police tape all. They're like being very transparent about it. Let me try this on the British pound. Just going back a few weeks here. So let's see what this thing does in the real world. It's trading through the news and everything. I love it. 1 minute chart. Let's go for the British pound. Or how about the yen? Most things don't run on the yen very well. It's funny how good stuff runs on the euro, though. Amazing. That manipulated currency. Oh, look how it's doing well on the yen here. So yeah. Let's let this beast go. Let's put it on the. I don't think I have to change the magic number if I run them in different currency pairs, different charts. But yeah, this is. I like that martingale because I don't want to be sitting there going, "Oh God, we're adding to a loser again, honey." What did I tell you about inviting him over? You see how he plays with the kids. Yeah, I don't know how people do it, honestly. We're homeschooling the kids, and Uncle Fester, well, he's a little bit frisky with the kids, but what are we gonna do? We're broke. They shut everything down, and they said there's gonna be reparations for everybody that got molested. Look at made money. Let me take a different sample of data. Be more scientific about it. What we're going to do is we're going to have everybody spit on each other in this room. In the other room, nobody's going to be 9 feet away. It's like a little test. Okay, this is before. I'm going to go back to pre-corona here on the data. We got today. Ended on a Friday. Okay, that's a chunk. That's before... it's going to be the worst thing you ever seen. It's the plague. Man, I love Trump to death right up until the last 2 weeks of this thing. When he turned it, you could see the liberalness of his bleeding heart. Well, we just don't know what to do here. Yeah, the only confidence I have is when he stares into the camera and he's going, "Are you ready? We're going to open the economy. So you ready? So you ready?" Yeah. Dude, like... I'm seeing some weird people walking around. I'm like, dude, these people, like, now we're going to see the revolt of the people that have nothing to lose. Yeah. Oh, don't you want to? I want to go to prison so I can get let out. Revolving doors have been created. Okay, we busted you for walking around without the corona. Now you just got it. You can go out now. You can leave now. It's so perverse. It's beyond. I do think it's a hoax. In other words, it's just a self-fulfilling hoax. When panic ensues, it's like musical chairs. Who's in office when the 9/11 buildings were taken down? World Trade Center was wiped out. I mean, it's just, wow. Who wanted to be president during that? And try to make like we're going to go kick your ass. You motherfuckers, what'd you do? Jimmy Bob says you guys shot down the buildings. You drove the planes into it, didn't you? After you hit the titty bar and then you got on the planes. What kind of moralistic cowards are you? Let me show you something. And so now everybody's like, we're going to need 1 billion ventilators. We're making 1 billion ventilators, and if we have to, we'll force people to make ventilators. If you made a fucking sci-fi movie like this, people would be, come on. Well, that is a sci-fi movie. I guess this is what happened. Hollywood embedded itself in people's brains. How can you even explain it? So, I don't know. There's bad data on here. I should run this on another, but this is just my preliminary view of this thing, is that it can do the 5 minute. If I get a 4-hour chart, watch me blow this robot up. I already know how to blow it up. Don't be telling me about changing the settings or pushing it too hard, because I know how to blow it up. So it doesn't trade very much, and look, it's still holding a trade. That's because it's the less data. Now the 1 hour chart is a different situation. So you can kind of figure more trades, but also the potential to total destruction. If we go into a drawdown just at the end here, it's doing pretty good. It's not over trading. So if you want to, see, that's where it takes the hit. So if you don't want to over trade, you got to pick the right time frequency for the right settings. And I'm sure if I change the settings in here, so see, it doesn't do too good there. Now the half-hour chart, I bet it does better because it gets more trades. It's able to dig out of a hole. It's got to be able to dig out of the hole. Skip to the end. See, it's selling into that. Okay? There's the problem, the drawdown, but then it makes it back. See? It's selling into that bigger and bigger every time. So you got to be up for this drawdown. Even though your equity is high, your balance is, you're taking a hit. Equity's up. You're holding winners you haven't cashed out of. As you cash out, the balance starts to come up. Taking these big tickets off the table. I don't know what that top size is in there. Oh, wait. My mouse over. Okay, that's 17K. So you're hitting 17K on that last ticket. Pretty amazing. Now that's the yen. Not a big fan, but on the 5 minute chart, how's it doing on the yen? And let's go back. Let's include the most recent prices. So we'll go to today and just play around with this range. And I do have, so it is retaining the settings from my last run, I suppose, by default, because the martingale is not normally turned on here. So it's taking it to present day now. Right, so it's doing pretty good. So here's the hit. If you open the account during this phase, you're gonna feel it. So it runs. I don't know. I think it has to do with if you do every tick, you're not gonna see it. You're not gonna see this thing trade. But I like it. I like experimenting with this stuff, and I do think that this is the answer, because even a breakout bot could have made money when this was getting hammered here. So during this, where it's getting smashed, the breakout bot should be cleaning up, and that should be easy to build out. If this guy built this, I don't know if he had somebody build it for him. If he had this thing, I don't know what the pro version cost, so I'm gonna have to look that up. So here's his presentation of how to high risk trade. Make weekly withdrawals. Okay, so then you'd only blow up what's left in the account. Make monthly withdrawals. Okay, but I don't know if that's going to build the account up too much. Isn't there a balance point here between making too much? How much withdrawals, right? Don't risk too much to the point of breaking the strategy. Well, the strategy here is to risk. Too much is a variable we don't know. Don't overtrade. Well, what do you consider overtrading? Don't push it. What do you consider pushing it? These are all just kind of classic cliches people say. you know.
The pro version. You got to do this with any strategy, whether it's manual trading, whether it's a system that you got for free online or you're paid for, or even a strategy that you're working with your mentor. This kind of trading, uh, money management techniques for high risk trading are uh, incredibly important in you being able to profit over the longer term trading like this. All right, so don't risk too much where you basically break the strategy and it can't trade properly because you run out of margin. All right, so that's something that you shouldn't be doing.
Okay, that running out of margin means running out of money. So you gotta get that robot trading frequency to be within the realm of like it can survive it. It'll dig out of that hole. You know that is really the key. For a human to do that, it's very difficult because you're going to get upset and you're going to want to put a mask on and scrub every surface. Because I heard it can live up to. Yeah, so can vomit. Um, that depends a
Don't
lot.
overtrade. So
Don't
if the
overtrade.
vendor or the person that's using the strategy or created the strategy recommends not trading, only trading on specific pairs or three pairs, don't try to do six or seven pairs because that's going to just overtrade and you're going to heighten your potential for having a losing streak or losing trades and causing a loss. Okay.
Well, I think a human is going to have a problem looking at 8 currency pairs, but I don't think the robot is. And if the robot has really strict filters, I'll get no nonsense robot. I'm surprised he hasn't built one out of his magical indicators. That's another proof that indicators are really intended for robots to read. Humans look at that stuff, and you read so much into it. And now that you have the thought of a Fibonacci entrance or a order block or a price structure, I think that the those are like a map, a large map view of the world. So you could have a robot car that drives down the road, and as he sees the terrain, he adjusts. And then there's the structure view. You're in an airplane looking down. You can see where he's going. You see the map, and you're like, I hope he gets this turn right. I hope he gets that turn right, because he can't see structure. I don't think a robot can see structure in a the ability to frame it, zoom in, zoom out, and say, well, this took an hour, and when the market's open tonight, there'll be 6 hours before London open. Where will the price be by then? Where could it be? Because I can see the nooks and crannies looking into the left side. Looking into the history of price, I can see this is an unpopular price and this is a popular price. This is why they came out with stuff like market profile. You can see the popular prices, the bulge, where are most trades taking place, and where is the wick? The wick is the unfair value that cannot last. Otherwise, there would be a body there. There would be a candle body in 12 hours into one price zone. If those were really accepted prices, but they don't accept it, they reject it. And 80% of the market's rejecting price. That's what 80% of the people you're rejecting. You're rejecting a virus, okay? Maybe you don't log on. Maybe you don't click on enough porn to pick up a Trojan horse on your computer. But this fear stuff is just, this is what it looks like, This panic looks like. Just a global panic, pandemic. I mean, just the world got small. The world has been getting smaller for years now. Um, people make a comment. Look at these people, and since you do have the gear, since you do have a mask, you wear it. If you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. There's been masks for years. I mean, people used to paint houses just like people used to coal mine without a mask. Well, maybe they put a hanky on their face, but my God, man, people used to smoke cigarettes. Doctors used to endorse cigarette smoking on television. Do people even know that? Like, oh, I smoke Lucky Strike, and so tell me, Mr. Doctor, sir. What's your favorite cigarette? Well, when I want to relax, I have a cup of wine and I look for rogue markets. Look for rogue waves. But I don't know. Everything. There's nothing new under the sun. That's a better cliche than don't overtrade. Okay, don't push it. Now here's a good thing to think about. Trade only with profit after you double the account. Trade only with profit after. So trading with profit is that also kind of like overconfidence, like, well, I got a bunch of money to burn here. Yeah, I mean, you could push a robot off a cliff there. Would you pull your robots off? I don't even know if my robot's set here to actually not trade certain times of day. But we're going to run this puppy coming into the markets tonight. I want to see how it trades. I want it to actually overtrade because I want to push it really hard on the 1 minute chart there. So it'll do the trades. I'm not gonna babysit the 1 minute chart with an indicator going, oh yeah, it's oversold, buy. Or get out a 2K, manually put on another 2K, now put a 3K, now martingale into it. The robot could do that way better. So I'm running the free one here. Okay, come on,
So
Ryan.
number 4. Number 5, don't push the strategy. Pastor recommend the settings. I see this even happening with my Rmi Ea Pro. Where people are thinking, oh, well, it's so profitable, and the strategy is so great. And I've had a bunch of trades this week, 22 trades this week with a 50.5% gain already with 50 pips. And people think, oh, well, it's profited 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times in a row. Why can't I?
Okay, now what's really weird here is the robot I'm running trades 1Ks and it stacks up. Also, it does too. Okay. Because I saw one where he was trading like insane sizes, and I thought, oh my god. So yeah, this is. But I do think this should be trading on different time frames and different settings. There should be a bunch of versions of this running, because if it's making money, then it's just a matter of the settings don't fit the market at the time, and some of them are going to fit. And if you've got that kind of result, we're going to find out. I'm going to run it.
Push the risk higher and just scale the strategy. The thing is that I have a 75% win rate with this strategy out of 1,040 trades. But those 25% of trades are the ones that are not great trades. And the strategy needs room to make those bad trades into something good. So, for example, let me show you right here. So this is the Rmi Ea Pro, taking its first sell position, looking for the market to go down, and scalping that position. As you can see, market didn't. It went.
Now he must have built this robot based on what he thinks. Okay, this is the first point at which we're going to go down, because his robot's saying that we're in a downtrend. This is the 5 minute chart. Okay, that's a 5 minute chart. Now, if you had a robot that could look at this doji or this slight pullback, trading at the market in just kind of a not martingale thing, you just kind of buy this down move here. You're going to buy this one and this one, and you're going to buy this and this on the 5 minutes. So you're in a 5K or 4K. And you buy this one with a tight stop and buy this one a tight stop. And you ride this move, and maybe you buy this and this and this. But and you start running, the robot needs to come in and start running a trailing stop. So when you reach this climax here, it's maybe cashes everything out. Does it buy here? Does it buy here? Does it buy here? Does it buy here, here, and here? Yeah. Because if it can martingale, if it gets in heavier here as it's coming back. But see, this is a structure issue. It's starting to fill this hole now. It already filled above this, and it filled there. It consolidated after the scalpers took it off of that top. So that's the structure view. That's the whole map. But if you're looking at this from a robot's looking at it, robot says we're down by doji bracket with stops and ride it. Right, that's the drudgery you don't want to do. And so you could have a contrarian bot, which is what his really is counter trend trading, and people cannot believe you can make money at it. But obviously, he's making money at it. With the robot I'm using, it's I would say it's a counter trend situation.
Back up. We entered
Range trading,
more
really.
trades, trade 2, 3, and 4. And we finally got that reversal that we were looking for. It just came a little bit later right here. That's a reversal that we were looking for, and it allowed us to pull out all the positions, all 4 trades, in a profit, overall profit. The top 2
See, so the trend trader is making money
trades were in
by
a
entering.
higher profit than the bottom 2 losses that happened. But because these were
Those are bigger positions, right?
at different risk levels, lot sizes.
Yeah, so he's martingaling in. He doesn't want to say that because I guess people just, that's like saying, I like kinky sex or something. But so if you're selling that bigger and you just took off this as a loser, and you can see his robot cashing out. Now, this is the pro version. I don't see what the point of buying the pro version, but I don't know how much it costs, and I don't know. Maybe it does your laundry or something, or cures your asthma.
We were able to pull out the profit overall where we did. So that was because we took the number 1 position was at a risk level that was low enough for us to be able to re-enter and correct the bad trade and make it good. But when it's compared to the take that I did on,
but see, it's not a bad trade. It's actually getting in. It's scaling in. I mean, it just makes sense. That is the trade. That is the strategy, is to go against the crowd. Now, he's doing this other trade that he did, like standard lots here, and lost money, and using his indicator. That's why I could never do indicator trading. But yeah, this thing, he goes in hog. He goes heavy here, standard lots.
On the Aussie CAD, like you see here, I took too high of a position, not allowing me enough room or enough margin to re-enter the trade. I had a second position, thinking that I was seeing some price action in here, looking for the price to eventually start moving down from there. Didn't, but I didn't have any room to enter up here, which I would have. Would have entered right around the 86 level.
Room. He didn't have enough margin available to enter up there. The other approach is that you have a robot that just, instead of, I think this thing's trading at the market, you just lay limit grids up here, and you just pick that price up, and then when it comes here, this is a bigger ticket. This is a 1K, 2K, 3K, 4K, and then you cash out, and you're done. This ticket may hold until that, but where are those stops, and what happens there, and does it, it's a 5-minute chart, let's not forget. Now, for the person that's looking at the 4-hour chart, they see this top and they go, you know what, I got limits up here, I'm going to sell into that. Or there's a guy out there that's literally selling every bullish candle. Sell, 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 sell. He's in this. Every time it's up, he's selling. So he's selling here in anticipation of this move. He's not selling here on that bullish candle. He's not selling here on the bullish candle. He's selling because it's starting to turn. Everybody's getting in a different place on this. And some people are making money and some people aren't. If you sold this rally and you couldn't wait for this amount of time to go by, which is like about 45 minutes, then yeah, you're like, holy shit, I'm just treading water. Like, I'm out, I'm scared, I'm getting, yeah. So the fear is definitely, you don't want to, you want to make money from the pandemic. Don't be freaking out with a mask on and gloves. And
for a better positioning in on the pullback down. And unfortunately, that just didn't happen. I just didn't have enough margin to do that. As you can see, my margin is running really low at 131, and it was even lower before. So this video is about what to do and what not to do. Okay, and I hope that everybody's listening carefully. So
I sure am. The thing is that on one hand, this guy is he's trying to use conventional thinking and stuff in a market that's so crazy random, and he also wants to apply fundamentals. He wants to make sense of it, but on the other hand, he built this robot that has an objective view that with the right settings, it's making money. It's
I
so
didn't go
funny.
over the last part, and this is number 6. Trade only with profit after you've doubled your account by 100%. So that means that if you have a deposit, let's say, for example, let's use my expert advisor for an example. So let's say that you purchase the Rmi Ea Pro and you have a $500 account or a $1,000 account. You grow that $1,000
How
account
much does
to
this thing
2,000.
cost? Let me take a look at his. Okay, that's a lot more expensive than I thought it'd be. So, oh gosh, I don't know. Yeah, so I hope I can run this free one because there's no way I'm going to pay $397 for a robot. Can be used on any real demo account. Really? Instant download after purchase. Profits of 15 to 20% a month. That's weird. Should be like 100%, shouldn't it? How, 100% of what? 15% of what? Automatically detect your account size and leverage to trade accordingly. I don't think I like that. I wanted to think I've got $1,000 all the time and it just keeps churning money. Yeah, that's kind of expensive. I like how it's not $400 though. But no, I mean, I can recommend the free one. Like, I'm just that guy. I'm not going to spend. So I downloaded this free one, which I think is version 8. It's even higher than this one. I don't know what the Pro's doing that the demo's not doing. He's not even saying. And I don't think you... look at this. No losing trades in 3 losing months in 13 years. Trades every week. Okay, we got pound CAD. Trades looks like a pro. Now I'm going to change the settings on mine. So if you want to spend the 397, knock yourself out. I don't know why he's got such a high price on that. He should have like, okay, here's a $15 one, here's a $20 one. For $15 a month, we'll send out updates. I don't know. That's a heavy hitter price, but that's what people are doing. Finds the best range, just trade the market. Doesn't really trades better than most humans. I gotta agree with that. Most robots would out trade a human. So I got this, and I think I don't know if I had to subscribe to the email. I did anyways because it was just like, oh, do I have to fill out this email shit? And I did, and whatever. I mean, I don't know if people are buying it. I know people want to take a free ride, Johnny Winter style. They won't have to think about this shit. Updates, I guess maybe there's free updates. He's going to dial the ATR, change the settings for you. Yeah, something you want to do yourself. So look, it's making money, see? It looks like it trades different than my results. I don't see that kind of dip, but I do see that cash out. Very snug. He's got different settings, though. So if I go in here and change any of these settings, you're going to see... Okay, I guess it's using that, what I did last time. So if I turn the martingale off, it just doesn't make as much money. I mean, if I got $1,000 in there, I'm not worried about losing $1,000 if I can make $500 a month. So let me turn off martingale number 2 and see if it trades any differently. We're sitting at 181 trades. We made $2,800 in a very short period of time. On a currency I'd never want to trade in my life. From the bad spreads coming into Asia there. 181 trades at $2,800. And I went, still doing martingale though. So I don't know. Maybe I fucked it up. Different amount of trades though, right? No, it's still going. I don't know. I gotta mess around with it. I don't want to bore you to death, but it has promise here. I'm definitely gonna unleash this thing when the market's open. I do think that if you use the, let me put the default settings in here. Oh, it takes forever to trade that. I don't have time for that. Let me load the default. Is that the reset? So he's got a 14 period. I don't know why people stick with these stupid ass. And I don't know what this buy level is 35, sell levels. I don't know what that is. Oh, I'm still connected to his site. He's trying to communicate with me. Do you need any questions answered? Yeah, did you got a bullet? I'm kind of getting bored. Some guy said people are buying guns at a record amount, and they are now that they're getting bored. They're like, I'm thinking of killing myself. It's crazy. Oh, look, it's nice smooth equity curve there. So the settings do make a difference. So I think I would mess with the settings real time. Let me go for a 1 minute chart, see how it trades. I'm just trying to get through the data as fast as possible, but for some reason it gets hung up here. I just want to get to the end. I'm only testing it for like 2 months. 2 months back in time. It's trading through the crisis. Yeah, you made it into a crisis, you nitwits. Everybody's an expert. Everybody's a health expert. Sadly, I'm still alive. Let's see. Let me go back to the. Let me go some wackadoodle pair here. He said it does good on the. Well, how about the Canadian dollar? That's always tough to trade. There's not enough people trading that spread. This is a fictitious spread, though. I need to make it a little bit bigger. And look, it's making money on the CAD, which is very hard to do. Okay, so here's a fast test. Let's go for let's put a worse spread in here. Let's see how it does with a bad spread. Seems to enjoy it out of the gate there. That doesn't seem to care. Yeah, it took a hit here. But still made money. It even traded more. Look at that, traded more. So maybe it likes a bad spread. It's not a breakout bot. It's a complete counter trend trading bot. Anyways, I'll put a link to the free download here and see what happens. Like I said, so there's no martingale on this one. Now I'm going to set martingale now because I don't see it showing up on the bottom. Maybe you have to change the currency pair to reinitialize it. So no, I reset the whole thing. So I'm going to go martingale with his settings. I don't think the settings matters. I think that money management's the only thing on this that's making it really win. It's winning because of the. But here, let's take a look at this. I'm going to say dollar CAD, 1 minute chart, 124 trades, made $93. Let's see this. Unleash this thing. Let's let this thing contaminate the whole world. 124 trades last time at $93. Original settings. 14 period relative movement index. I don't know why this thing's making so much money. Yeah, I think you should run it on multiple currency pairs. I think you should let it go. It seems to do good with the. Looks like you could put about $800 in this account and survive the drawdowns. I don't know. I got a spread of 5 on this. I'm testing this. So I don't know what the look at it. Look at Martingale in here. Just load the wagon. I don't know why you'd want to spend $395 on this. So this is the free version. Seems to be running. It should run on real money unless it's blocked not to. I don't know how that works. We're gonna find out. We're just hours away. Look at this lack of liquidity on the 1-minute chart. Not a lot of trades. And this is the only broker I've done it on. This is Hugo's Way. I have not done it on anybody else's data yet either. But it's something to poke around in. So this should be fun. Here, I know I could probably blow it up here on the 4-hour chart. Let's let it rip. I know what it doesn't like. And this would be lower frequency trading for sure on the 4-hour chart. See, it did not do too bad, but it took a hit here. It was just starting to do good, but the frequency of trading is definitely less. Lower frequency trades, but I don't know. So I'm going to try this thing. I'll play around with this Ryan bot. So feel free to check it out. I do think that he is the only guy, the only robot I've been able to run. Although as soon as the video's over, I'm going to run some more free ones. I do think the whole key of this is the settings. If the settings fit the instrument and the way it behaves, and the strategy, the fact that this thing has got a criteria to take a trade based on momentum of some type, relative strength, whatever it is. I would prefer also to have a breakout system in conjunction with this counter trend trade. And the breakout system really is a trend trading system because you're waiting for that pause before we get a continuation. So you're waiting for the flag, you're waiting for the pennant, you're waiting for the ascending triangle, the descending triangle, the engulf, fill in the blank. If you really want to engulf, the half-hour engulf is a 1-hour hammer. So that kind of it's just a matter of how you're getting in these trades. What is the frequency of trading, and what is the cost of trading? And do you let it trade during the news? Is it going to freak out in the real world? Here we don't have any execution problems. And maybe some of the money we're making here is because during the news it went berserk and the thing was able to make it. And are you going to shit your pants when the thing starts to lose money and you're going to say, well, turn off the robot? And that's human intervention on top of. That's the other thing that Ryan Brown was doing, was intervening on top of his robots. Because maybe he felt the robot wasn't, but he finally got it stabilized, and whatever he did, I guess you could decompile this. I don't know how to do it. But I don't care. I just change the settings. It wouldn't matter to me. I don't really care what the fuck's going on under the hood of my car. Whether that's a V8 or a V6, if it's moving down the road and I'm one step ahead of the coronavirus, I just have to be faster than the other guy. That's why I have 80-year-old people behind me, surround me. What I'm doing is I'm using I'm safe distance is 6 feet, but between the 6 feet I put about anybody over the age of 70. That's my wing team, my entourage. When I go out, also I do think this idea of having the avatar likeness of yourself go out, and that way you could go out and do a bunch of really risky stuff and be like, shrug your shoulders when they come to your house. They knock on your house as you're watching your virtual self on the GoPro, and of course you're trying to get a viral video going better than the other guys. But yeah, the virtual world, who needs to go out anyways? Fucking hey, you got 3D glasses at home. What more do you need? You got scratch and sniff. What more do you need? Why are these people leaving their houses in the first place? Fucking A, you just go on the welfare. Have the government print you money and send it to you. I mean, Yang was, if you think Yang's going to be vice president after these checks go out, I'll be like, have you thought about? Why isn't Yang out bragging about like, dude, I told you, see? And Yang's take was that the robots are going to take over, and they're not going to need people no more. Okay, how's that working now? When robots, people got to fix these robots, and turns out that didn't seem to save us on this one. People are still having to get in their car, and I don't know. It's wacky, but I do want to get the team of robots going. Maybe this will be this. Just getting some goober bots going and just changing the settings is enough. I don't really think I'm going to have to. I don't know if I'll ever be able to learn MTL code, MLQ. I'll be dead, I think, by the time I learn it. But there's people out there doing it. If you go onto YouTube and do a search for MQL4 or and you go, there's a coding tutorial guy out there. Shows you how to do everything. I'm still like, yeah, but that's not what I'm looking for. In other words, I'm looking for a really crude robot. And this one looks like it's built on indicators, so it has a little fanciness to it. Kind of a directional thing going on, but it seems to make money. I got to play with the settings though. And that's a new job, so you have a robot, but then it's like, oh, gotta, make sure this robot's still running. You got that run? It's still a machine, right? It's still, even if you're going to manually trade, you still got to get to your phone. Now you could trade iMarket's live way where you just put trades on your phone. You go, I think it's going up here. Let's buy a little bit. Yeah, okay. You could do that way too, It's not as scientific and it's not as consistent. So consistency comes from machinery. You can think that, oh, I'm still pressing the same. Yeah, are you? You probably got a little fluctuation in the in your approach, and maybe you slept in, or maybe your computer crashed, or maybe you didn't. You had corona-itis and you couldn't get to the platform to put the manual trade on. The robot's going to carry out the task that expert advisors. They've been around for a long time. And I don't think there is one expert advisor that will take the best trade every fucking day, but having a crop of them that are taking, half-assed trades better than a prop house trader. Jesus, it should be able to trade one of those guys. One of these people that show up with their trunk of indicators and they're going to just trade 2% of the account. I just don't think that's ever going to do it. Whereas if you have that's a $10,000 account, let this thing do 100 trades a day, and it's going to risk anywhere from $1 a trade to $10 a trade. Now that's viable, right? Because then you have this risk area that you've cordoned off for. That's going to be that. Everybody 10 feet apart in this room. And if you want to be 2 feet apart, you have to pay for the foot. It's per foot. How close do you want to get to the market? That is social distancing. How about limit order distancing? Is that going to be the new? That's the new metaphor. What you're going to do here is we're going to put in. We're going to just build a whole trading tutorial, mastering forex the Corona way. Orders 6 pips apart. Yeah, I'm liking this. Last chance to destroy the whole population of all my orders that I have in the market and eat up all that margin, paint yourself into a corner. Yeah, too many hookers with Corona. I knew I should have got one every hour away. 3 hours. What does it live on surface for 3 hours? Honey, schedule the girls for every 6 hours just to be on the safe side. 6 feet away and 6 hours between each girl. Yes, this is People are going to make so much money from this. It's just so funny. And when people go, you know what? It's seasonal flu. Oh my God. It was a stop hunt. Oh well. Better luck next time, people.